AM 1460, the new WXBR. You are listening to the Metro South Morning Program. Peter Czymbor and Mike Paiva here with you on this Friday. Got to get down on Friday, right, Mike?
That's right.
You know, that girl has turned down doing our show twice, and by turned down, I mean not responded at all to my requests. I'd like to chat with Rebecca Black.
And he's asked more than twice, by the way.
3 times, maybe 4. You know, you're right. It's been more than twice. Every now and then, Rebecca Black does something, and I'm like, we should have this girl on our show. We've had much bigger celebrities on the show. What else could she possibly be doing? But the publicist just never gets back to us.
We've also had much lesser celebrities on the show.
Oh, absolutely. Name someone lesser than Rebecca Black we've had on the show.
The Balloon Boy.
All right, Balloon Boy is a piece of pop culture in cable broadcast news history because everyone thought he was floating across the skies of Colorado for an entire afternoon and watched. And now he's in a metal band and sings Iron Maiden a cappella on AM radio.
Right on PM in the AM. That's why we're the best at infotainment.
You know, I thought that interview...
I made that up. I copyrighted that, by the way.
Nice. I thought that interview was going to go a lot further with the online audience than it did. But I think that people are so sick of Balloon Boy and so sick of his family trying to exploit everything they've ever done for their own profit that people said, we don't need this.
I agree.
But it is what it is.
Who cares about Balloon Boy and his stupid metal band?
Hey, he's 11, you know. It's not his fault that anything happened. I actually don't blame that kid for anything.
I blame his father.
You can blame the parents all you want. I'll accept that. I'm not putting any blame on the kid. He's 11. He's got long hair. He sings metal. Anyways, it's still Friday morning, folks. You're listening to the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM.
We've got a guest in studio.
We have a guest in studio. Coming up this Sunday, Mike, it is the Academy Awards, and it would only be fitting on one of the biggest movie nights of the year on the show prior here in WXBR for us to have in studio Derek, the movie guy. Derek, good morning and welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. One of your lesser-known celebrities.
Derek, the movie guy, where do you put him on the Rebecca Black scale, Mike?
I'm going to put Derek above the Rebecca Black scale because he's been on our show like 3 times.
Exactly, and everyone knows that being on PM in the AM 3 times makes you a gargantuan celebrity.
Yes.
Far greater than that.
You're on a very
Black.
short list of people who have been on this show multiple times.
Can I say something?
Fantastic.
For what notoriety Derek, the movie guy, has, he's had it much longer than Rebecca Black did.
There you go.
I mean, Rebecca Black had the Friday song. It lasted like a month. Everyone laughed at it. Was gone for 5 years. Came out with the Saturday song. And that had
Did she really?
Yeah, it had an even shorter shelf space than the Friday song because it was just so clear as day that she was trying to capitalize off the success of the Friday song. She had a single in between. I forget the name of it. And it was awful because she was trying to be an actual singer. Stop it. Just be ridiculous and we'll love you. Mm-hmm. But we'll digress on as much Rebecca Black talk as we had this morning since that song came out. Oscars are this Sunday night.
Yes, sir.
And Derek, the movie guy, I know that this is like your Christmas.
It is. It's like the Super Bowl, Christmas. It's all this great stuff mixed into one day.
First off, for those not long-time listeners to AM 1460, the new WXBR, tell us why you are, in fact, Derek, the movie guy.
Because this is my thing. I love the Academy Awards for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's the statistics. It's the speeches, the glamour of it all. I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Were you a movie guy as a kid? Because I feel like the Academy Awards not direct to kids whatsoever. You have to be kind of an older. You know, you have to be an adult to really enjoy the movies that are nominated for the Academy Awards.
He was Derek the movie kid.
Yeah. Were you Derek the movie kid? Were you, like in the mid-'90s saying, I think Schindler's List has a great opportunity. Were you that kid?
No, I didn't really care at that time. I was more like the Balloon Boy. I wasn't in a metal band, but
by the way, what kid is watching Schindler's List? By the way,
yeah, I don't know.
I had to watch it when I was a senior in high school.
I watched it in high school as well.
Curriculum, yeah.
But like when it actually came out, that'd be pretty gruesome to watch.
See, I would love to show that movie in my film class, but I can't because there's nudity in it.
I watched it.
Is that against the rules?
Well,
I'm not showing a movie with nudity in it. I'm even hesitant to show a movie with swears in it.
I watched it in high school, and I remember there being some nudity. There's like man-ass in it. I mean, the guy's, in a concentration camp. It's pretty brutal.
Full frontal nudity in that movie.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I did watch it in high school. Mm-hmm. I substitute taught at a school one time where we were watching Footloose, and there's some man ass in
Nice.
that movie, and everyone just goes, "Woo!" And I'm sitting at the desk, and I look up, and I'm like, "It's a guy's butt," and I'm like, "All right, that's a guy's butt, everyone. We'll survive." And went on, and then I went home and never mentioned a damn thing to the principal about it because collect my check and go home. If an ass is going to hurt them, well then they've got far greater problems that cannot be contained within the confines of a classroom.
And a man ass at that.
A man ass at that.
This is true.
We're going to get on a topic about man ass and movies pretty soon. Is that what's happening?
Why not? That's what we do.
Well, we're chatting. That apparently that's what we do here in the morning. Let's get to the Academy Awards this Sunday night. We're chatting with Derek, the movie guy, here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. Should we start from the top or start from the bottom when it comes to the major nominations for this Sunday night?
Well, we'll start with the supporting acting. We can start there.
Let's start from the bottom and work our way up to the top of the major
Yes.
categories at the Academy Awards, which takes place this Sunday night. Actor in a supporting role. Who do we got for nominees?
We got Barkhad Abdi from Captain Phillips, Bradley Cooper from American Hustle, Michael Fassbender from 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill from Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto from Dallas Buyers Club.
Who's going to win, why, and who should win?
Jared Leto will win. That's one of the only things that's going on this weekend that's a pretty safe lock, is Jared Leto winning that category. He'll win because it was a total transformation for him. He lost like 25 pounds. He had to, dress like a woman. He had to act like a woman, and he was dying of AIDS. So it's a total character transformation, which is why he will win. The Academy loves to give awards to people that are more method, I like to say. So someone who totally changes who they are to become a character. I think who should win in that category is Michael Fassbender from 12 Years a Slave. He was a slave owner, one of the main character's last slave owners, and he was just an awful, awful specimen. He was just so bad to those slaves. The way he acted, he was raping some of them, whipping others, mistreating them, just a total douche. And I think he did a phenomenal job. And I see his performance in that movie more like I see Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs or Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, like that kind of crazy. And he won't win, but I think it should be noted that it's the performance of his career thus far. And that's saying something because he's been in some really good movies over the past few years.
Now, I ask you who will win and who should win. When you say who should win, is this just a matter of personal preference, or are you going off past history of the Academy Awards, giving awards to certain actors based on certain criteria that you see that they like you mentioned, method acting?
Yeah, in this particular case, this is my personal belief that Michael Fassbender should win. Other categories that we'll get into, I think, there could be an Oscar that will go to someone like Leonardo DiCaprio based on past performances. But in this particular case, I think Michael Fassbender was the strongest performance in that category. Just my personal opinion.
Has there ever been a case of someone winning an award in a category that outright everyone knew they did not deserve to win, but they won, in your opinion, or perhaps in the vast majority of opinion of Academy Award observers such as yourself, that they won for political reasons or something of that nature? Well,
I mean, there have been a number of those instances, but just one that I can think of is Tommy Lee Jones back in '94 won for The Fugitive, and he beat out Ralph Fiennes for Schindler's List, and he beat out Leonardo DiCaprio for What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Those two performances were far superior to Tommy Lee Jones, but because Tommy Lee Jones was older and he was due, I feel like they gave him that award, and I just don't think that he was particularly even that good in that performance. That's just one I can think of, and Ralph Fiennes is a better actor. Leonardo DiCaprio obviously is a better actor. He's done more stuff with his career that's award-worthy than Tommy Lee Jones, but I think that one was just a case where all right, Tommy Lee Jones has been in the game. He's been doing it for so long. He's given us some good stuff. Here you go.
I remember the year that both Halle Berry and Denzel Washington won.
Yeah, that was a big year.
That was a big year, and I felt that that year, Halle Berry should have won what she did. Denzel Washington won for Training Day. He was up for the Best Actor award against Sean Penn in I Am Sam. And I thought Sean Penn should have won that a slam dunk, but I thought that Denzel Washington winning was perhaps a make-up call for years past, and perhaps him and Halle winning at the same time would have such social significance that they kind of wanted that to happen. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree with that. While I think Denzel Washington's performance was excellent and award-worthy, I agree with you. I think Sean Penn's performance was better and was more deserving. But he did get one a couple years later with Milk. He won Best Actor, or he won first for Mystic River, and then he won for Milk. So he did get his 2 acting awards that he deserved. But I agree. In that particular case, I think Sean Penn was the better performance.
And it seemed like a few years earlier when Tom Hanks won for Forrest Gump, it almost started a trend that a lot of people playing mentally handicapped characters got nominated for whatever reason.
Exactly. Yep.
And Sean Penn was no exception in I Am Sam. Some would argue that he's mentally handicapped in real life, but that is besides the point.
Yeah, it is.
We're talking with Derek, the movie guy, about movies, not about Sean Penn and anything he does outside of the realm of movies.
Politics and Haiti and all that jazz.
He gets himself involved in some
does.
interesting stuff. You're scratching your head every now and then going, what the hell is Sean Penn doing? Who's he married to, by the way?
I was just thinking that. I don't know who he's married to now, but he was married to Robin Wright for many years, who was in Forrest Gump, ironically.
That's why I was thinking that she was Jenny.
Yep.
Maybe he is still married to Jenny. She was a friend of mine. What else is going on in relation to... thank you, Mike. What else is going on in relation to categories for the Academy Awards that you want to touch upon this Sunday night?
Well, supporting actress is another important Oscar that's going to be going out. This is one that can go one of 2 ways, I think. Nominees are Sally Hawkins, Jennifer Lawrence, Lupita Nyong'o, Julia Roberts, and June Squibb. I think it's coming down to Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave and Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle. Jennifer Lawrence won last year in the lead actress category for Silver Linings Playbook. They've both won multiple awards this season. Jennifer Lawrence won the Golden Globe for Supporting Actress, and Lupita Nyong'o won the Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Supporting Actress. So I tend to think that Lupita Nyong'o will win because the people who vote in that category are actors. So when the Screen Actors Guild, which is voted on just by actors, votes for her to win Best Supporting Actress, I tend to think that that will translate to an Oscar win for her too. And usually they're pretty accurate to one another, the Screen Actors Guild and the acting awards and the Oscars.
So for the record, who will win and who should win?
Lupita Nyong'o will win, and I think Jennifer Lawrence should win. I think both performances were very strong. It's very hard I had to think about this. But I think Jennifer Lawrence, she is a star. She is a big star, and she's only 20.
Seems to be the golden child right now.
She is. If she can keep this up with what she's doing right now, she could be like a Meryl Streep in like 30 years.
Do you think?
I'm sorry. I think that she can. It'll be easy for her to get away from that, doing like big budget movies and movies that tank. It's very easy for actresses to lose that, what they have, that mojo that they have. But I just think the streak she's been on since like 2009, 2010 has just been phenomenal. I don't think there's anyone that can really hold a candle to her right now in her generation as far as acting goes.
Is there anybody you think this year that got snubbed for a nomination?
Yeah, Emma Thompson in the lead actress category for Saving Mr. Banks, and definitely Tom Hanks for lead actor in Captain Phillips. I thought for sure that was a slam dunk because the Academy loves him. He's won 2 awards. He's been nominated countless times. He could have been nominated in both supporting acting for Saving Mr. Banks and for lead acting in Captain Phillips. And I think that his performance was better than some of the performances in lead acting. It's a shame. But he's won 2. I maybe that feeds into it like we were talking about earlier. Maybe he's been given his award, so now they're just kind of like, we'll give nominations to people that haven't been nominated before, which is definitely the case this year.
Maybe the world's just a little Tom Hanks'd out at this point. I like Tom Hanks, but
I do too.
I don't get sick of him, but you do see him at everything.
Yeah.
Like Tom Hanks is just in the crowd at random events now. I'm like, it's Tom Hanks. That's a tribute to the Beatles. Tom Hanks is there. All right, cool.
He does a lot of producing for HBO now too, so he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
He produces the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremonies every year. Mm-hmm. He's just raking in the dough, that Tom Hanks.
Yep. He's great. I love him. He's one of my all-time favorites. So I don't have any issue with seeing Tom Hanks in a movie. He can be in 5 movies a year, and I wouldn't get sick of him. I love
There
him.
is a handful of Tom Hanks movies, and I do mean like a handful, like 5, where if you are coming out of the shower and you just kind of flip on the TV and the movie's starting, you can sit and watch the whole thing.
Or it can be anywhere in the movie and you'll watch
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Forrest Gump,
Right.
Big. What's a few other ones?
I love Big.
Well, I can watch Philadelphia. That's a tough movie to watch, but I love Philadelphia. The Da Vinci Code. I know a lot of people didn't like the Da Vinci Code, but I like the adventure aspect of that movie. I thought he was pretty good in that.
Can I say I never saw the Da Vinci Code movie? I did buy and read the book because I wanted to be like one of those hip, cool
You wanted to be the
people.
cool one, yeah.
I
Me
wanted,
too.
yeah.
Me too.
Do you got that too?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wanted to be like one of the hip, cool people with the Da Vinci Code on my coffee table. Ah, the Da Vinci Code, yes. Have you read the Da Vinci Code? No. Oh, well, you must. I was that guy.
It was a conversation starter.
It was a conversation starter.
With your glass of wine and
With my glass of wine, and I did the whole thing. By the way, we've talked about this before in the air. What is the greatest book in the history of literature, in my opinion?
What band wrote the
The Dirt by Motley Crue.
Motley Crue? There you go.
Which, by the way, they're talking about making a movie of, and it will be the greatest movie of all time. I am positive. Which ties
bold statement.
Very bold, but he stands by
It's the
it.
greatest book in the history of literature. After I read the first paragraph, I'm like, it can't get any better
In the
than
history
this.
of literature.
And it just gets better and better. Hey, it was John Steinbeck's birthday yesterday. Let him have his Of Mice and Men. Let him have his Grapes of Wrath. Did he write Grapes of Wrath?
Yes, we talked about that today, right? Didn't we?
That was yesterday, Mike.
Oh.
Whatever it was. Let him have that. Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx, Vince Neil, and Mick Mars.
They can have it.
The Dirt by Motley Crue. Coming to a theater near you, hopefully. Let's move on.
You think that will get nominated?
No, dude, could that get nominated? It hasn't been made yet. Derek, the movie guy, is looking at me like it hasn't even been made yet. What kind of ridiculous question is that?
Pete's already putting it up there.
I'm already putting
I
it
mean,
up
if
there.
they can get Daniel Day-Lewis to be in the movie, then it probably will be nominated.
All right.
That's not going to happen, though.
You never know.
Talk about being selective. That dude will... Oh, there's only so many movies he'll do. He'll do like one movie every 3 years.
Oh, we'll give Mickey Rourke a reason to
There
play.
you go.
Mickey
Mickey
Rourke.
Rourke. There you go.
Yeah, he needs something to do. He was alive in the 80s. He was doing his thing then. Man, remember The Wrestler was supposed to be a comeback for him? It was really like a one and done. What the hell's he done since?
People thought he was going to win that year, too. That was the year that for Milk, right?
Yep,
It was the
Sean
same
Penn
year?
beat him out. Yeah. That was a toss-up that year, too.
But that was supposed to be his comeback.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything he's done since, with the exception he might have been one of those random people in the Expendables movies.
Expendables, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's exactly what he did.
Which, of course, is Derek the Movie Guy's favorite movie series.
Uh-huh. No.
I said that rather facetiously. All right, let's move on to the next category. What's the next category we're getting to Derek the Movie Guy? We're talking Academy Awards with Derek the Movie Guy here on WXBR.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Best Actress, which is a slam dunk.
Slam dunk.
Slam dunk. Let's go through the nominees first.
All right, we got Amy Adams for American Hustle, Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep, of course, for August Osage County.
So who should win? Who will win is one and the same in this one. I take it. Who's the slam dunk to win this?
The person who should win and will win is Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine. Blue Jasmine was a good movie. It was completely performance-driven. She was absolutely phenomenal. She lost herself in that role. And Woody Allen generally does well with female roles. If you listen to her speeches at all the other at all the other award shows, she just mentions Woody Allen and how he does great stuff for female characters, and this is no exception. She's phenomenal. Diane Keaton dedicated. She spoke for Woody Allen at the Golden Globes, because at the Golden Globes, Woody Allen got a Lifetime Achievement Award, and Diane Keaton spoke for him because Woody Allen never shows up to award shows, ever. He's been to one. It was like post 9/11, where he showed up and he was like, "You have to film in New York. Don't be afraid to come to New York." But other than that, doesn't show up. So he does great work with female roles, and I think, in my opinion, Kate Blanchett's performance in this is one of the best performances I've seen from a female actor. It was just phenomenal. And there are some strong performances in this category, but none will even touch her.
Well, if Woody gets any accolades this Sunday night, I'm sure we'll hear about it in a advertisement in the New York Times the following day, courtesy of his stepchildren, unfortunately.
Oh, my God. Isn't that terrible?
You know, if you're going to accuse someone of that, you better be damn sure. And there's people that believe it, which I don't know.
Well, he married his daughter.
He did marry his stepdaughter, which makes you wonder there's some freaky stuff going on.
Right. And she was like 19 and he was 40-something, so. Weirdo.
Woody Allen's an eccentric individual. Mm-hmm. We're chatting with Derek the Movie Guy here on AM 1460, the new WXBR, Metro South Morning Show, PM on the AM. We're talking Academy Awards this Sunday night. We're going to talk more Academy Awards with Derek the Movie Guy, but first we're going to step aside for a quick breather. Mike's going to fill us in on what's happening in the world and in and around us here on the South Shore. Stick with us here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. Back at you here on this Friday. You're listening to the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM. Peter Czymbor and Mike Paiva here with you, joined in studio by Derek the Movie Guy. Always fun to have Derek the Movie Guy in studio. Derek, one thing that we are going to ask of you is for you to send us a photo of yourself via email for us to use as the still image when we archive our interviews on YouTube, because Mike Paiva thought that I had chosen a poor photo of you to use the first time we posted one of your interviews on YouTube, when in all reality, you sent that to me and said, I like this because I look jacked.
Yeah, it's a terrible picture, though. I don't have many good pictures of me. You posted one the second time I was here of me with a glass of wine, and I looked like I had this deep thought. That one was pretty good.
That was right after he read the Da Vinci Code.
Exactly.
And I said, well, that's what we'll talk about, the Da Vinci Code. We're chatting with Derek, the Movie Guy, here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. Where'd we leave off, Derek?
We had just gone over Best Actress. We'll move on to Best Actor now. And this one's... some would make the argument that this one's over as well. But we get back to what we were talking about before, about Oscars being owed to people. And this is Leonardo DiCaprio, who I've been on before talking about how much he deserves this.
Let's hope so.
And how much he's due for this. But he's running up against Matthew McConaughey. Yes, that Matthew McConaughey, who hasn't done much with his career, but over the past year has done a lot of good stuff. And Dallas Buyers Club is no exception. He did really, really, really great work in that movie. But I think... And I've had friends that disagree with me on this big time, that Leonardo DiCaprio was the better performance of the two. But there's also Chiwetel Ejiofor, which again I've talked about before. I thought before he was going to be the slam dunk winner, but he hasn't really won anything. He hasn't won any awards leading up to this. It's been all Matthew McConaughey. It's been all Leonardo DiCaprio, and when Matthew McConaughey and Leo DiCaprio go up against one another, Matthew McConaughey's won in some of the award shows. They both won Best Actor at the Golden Globes because they do that weird thing where they separate drama films from comedy and musical films. So Leo won the comedy musical, and McConaughey won the dramatic actor award.
Which seems opposite to me, to think about it.
Yeah, it seems opposite in terms of their personalities
right, exactly.
and traditional what they've been in.
Yeah, he mentioned that during a speech. He was like, I never really thought I'd win an award for a comedy movie. And it is. It's a dark comedy. It's funny. It's a hilarious movie. But, I just thought that was odd. I think who should win is Leo, but who will win, I would go to say it's going to be Matthew McConaughey winning that one.
Leonardo DiCaprio's been snubbed a few times at the Oscars, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Again, Gilbert Grape he should have won for.
How old was he when that movie came out?
I want to say he was like 17.
He was real young.
Yeah, he might have even been.
He hadn't even been with Bobby Brown yet at that point, Mike.
I think he should have been nominated and won for The Basketball Diaries, but he wasn't even nominated for that. He was crazy drug-addicted high school kid. And then he followed that up with Titanic.
It's a great forgotten-about movie, The Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's when he was with Bobby Brown, just for those keeping track at home. She told me off the air about that. We're chatting with Derek, the Movie Guy, here in WXBR. So McConaughey wins. You think Leo should win, though?
Yeah, absolutely. The other performances in this category are really strong. Again, Ejiofor was excellent. Bruce Dern, it's his first Oscar nomination. I think he was the one that...
Yeah, who the hell is Bruce Dern?
He hasn't. Not much that I've seen. He was in last year. He was in Django Unchained.
Okay.
He was a slave owner in that movie, and it was a very, very small role. He's Laura Dern's father. I think in my opinion, he's just better known to be her dad because Laura Dern, was great in Jurassic Park. She's had these really big roles. And Christian Bale in American Hustle, he was great. He had to put on like 40 pounds. It's weird because McConaughey and Jared Leto had to lose a bunch of weight.
See, the Academy Awards likes that. When people drastically alter their lifestyles for a role, they like that because he was a really thin drug addict for the fighter, and now he's a fatso in American Hustle.
Polar opposite.
So people they seem to really like that.
Yeah, which just goes to show his range as an actor. He can lose a ton of weight and act like a drug addict, or he can gain a ton of weight and act like an idiot.
I actually know Dickie Eklund personally, and the weird subtleties of his physical characteristics and personality that Christian Bale got down for the fighter was alarming. Mm-hmm. Mark Wahlberg did a good job in that movie too, but friend of mine pointed out, if you know Mickey, there's not an ounce of hip-hop inside him, whereas Mark Wahlberg kind of talked with a little street hip-hop flair from time to time.
Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Which there's none of that inside the real Mickey Ward. Christian Bale playing Dickie, though, he got everything. So Leo should win. Matthew McConaughey will win. He'll be smoking weed and playing the bongos all the way home after that. That was him, right?
His speech has been weird, too. Like, he just gets up there, he's like, hey, what's going on? And then he just starts talking about random stuff. Leo's acceptance speeches have been so humbling and inspiring, and he just dedicates everything to Martin Scorsese because Scorsese helped him become a better actor, a more respectful person to be on set, has really taught him the ways of being a professional in that environment. And he's gone out of his way to make sure that he thanks everyone that's important in his life or everyone that's important in the making of this film. He just gives great speeches, but yet he's not going to win. He's going to lose out to a guy that's going to be like holding the award all awkwardly and, hey, how you guys doing tonight? Like just weird stuff. But I'd love to see Leo pull out the upset. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Who's had the best and worst acceptance speech in the history of the Academy Awards, in your opinion?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, there have been so many, but off the top of my head, a great speech was Cuba Gooding Jr. for Jerry Maguire.
Yes, I do remember this.
Oh, my God, great. And Ben Affleck and Matt Damon for Good Will Hunting.
They were very excited.
They were very excited. Oh, they were fantastic. Even Sandra Bullock's speech a couple of years ago for The Blind Side was fantastic. She's funny, and she had this heartfelt acceptance speech. She's great. I love her personally. I'm not a fan of her work per se, but she's had a really good couple of years. Gravity is I've talked about this before, just being a great, great film. I think it's the performance of her career. She won't win, but she gives great speeches. But the boring ones and the ones that are bad, I can't think of any off the top of my head because there's so many. Anyone that wins an award for like animated short, congratulations, you're more of an artist than any of us, but you can't even understand what they're saying because, they speak with such heavy accents. But they're insignificant to me. I'm more watching
those
to watch.
Insignificant foreigners, says Derek, the movie guy. What are they doing coming on my award show?
I'm starting to sound like Matthew McConaughey
a little bit.
Yeah.
So Ellen DeGeneres is returning.
She
as a host.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see her. She's good. But I love what Tina Fey and Amy Poehler do for the Golden Globes. They're great because they're funny enough that they can get under people's skin, but they know their limits. So it's not like what's the guy's name? Ricky Gervais. Yeah,
yep.
The British guy who just everyone hated him because he was just digging into him. He was relentless. He would just go for the jugular with everyone.
It's a fine line between going for a joke and just going to be really mean and piss off people.
And that's
in the
what
crowd.
he did. And they had him come back and be the host for that show like 2 or 3 years in a row. But now they've brought back Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, and it's just been such a success. They put on a good show, and they're funny, and they do their little musical numbers. But Ellen DeGeneres will do much of the same, which is why I'm excited that she's going to be hosting this year.
I was looking forward to Eddie Murphy hosting the Academy Awards, which ultimately never happened, unfortunately. I forget exactly what happened, which resulted in him not participating, but I was hoping that he would do it. Who do you think is the best past host of the Academy Awards in all the years you've watched it?
Well, people that have watched it for years would probably say like a Bob Hope or someone along.
Well, that's going back.
That's
old
going.
school.
I've never watched those.
See, I think
so
I think I have a slam dunk answer. I think it's Billy Crystal.
Oh, yeah, that's who I was going to say.
Okay.
Billy Crystal. Yeah, he's great. He's just great. He's hilarious. Again, same thing as the Amy Poehler, Tina Fey argument. He knows the right jokes to say, the right jokes to make, and the right things to say, and he's just fantastic. I'd love to see him come back and do more.
Maybe he will. He's actually said that he'd rather just sit at home and watch than host it. Probably a lot of work, but
I was just going to say, it's probably a ton of work for him to do. Not like he's doing anything, though. Like
he just came out with a book a few months ago.
Did he?
He's Billy Crystal. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Didn't he voice some character in some kids movie or something?
Probably.
What's like the kids animated series that's not Toy Story, but like Toy Story that's been big?
Everything has a sequel now. So.
Shrek, Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was one of the voices in Monsters
Yeah,
Inc.
you're right.
So Billy Crystal, he stays busy. He's a grandfather now.
He's never been better than he was in Princess Bride.
As you wish.
Fantastic. Exactly.
Yes.
Anyone you're looking forward to as far as presenters go this year?
Well, most of the presenters are past winners.
Okay.
So we'll have like Jennifer Lawrence will present the Oscar for Best Actor, and Daniel Day-Lewis will present the Oscar for Best Actress. That's usually what they do. I was looking at the list. The list was so short the last time I looked, and it was all past winners. I don't know of anyone that's presenting that's out of the norm. But
Who's in the music category this year? Because Mike and I were always a fan of when 3-6 Mafia won the award for the song "It's Hard Out There Being a Pimp."
Yes, it is.
Derek, the movie guy, can attest to that from experience. But it was just funny to see these guys who randomly got to the Academy Awards, seemingly on a fluke, win. I don't think they were particularly dressed up for the occasion. I think they were in street clothes, and to this day, they just walk around everywhere they go at their Academy Award.
Yes, Pharrell is nominated for Best Original Song.
That guy's nominated for every damn award
He's
in the
had
world.
A great year. He had a great
probably
year.
have an awesome hat too.
Yeah, I'm looking
The
forward to
Smokey
that.
the Bear hat?
Yep.
Like the Curious George guy hat? Yeah.
The fashion thing is pretty funny to watch because you can just sit there and judge people and make fun of people, which who doesn't love to do, right? But he's definitely going to be one that is going to make all kinds of headlines, and people are going to be taking pictures, and he'll be on the cover of all these tabloid magazines and stuff like that. I don't know what the hell he's. He looks like Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, what was the first big hit that Pharrell produced? Anyone know?
Can't think of it.
It was Rex and Effects Rump Shaker.
Wow.
All I want to do is zoom, zoom, and a zoom.
Just shake your rump.
Exactly.
Love
that was
that
Pharrell.
jam.
Then he came out. I played this song on the air once to indicate how stupid I thought it was, and Mike liked it. What was that song where he said, "Your ass is a spaceship I'd like to ride. She's sexy." And Mike thought that was a good song.
I don't even know what song you're talking about. I probably liked the beat
Google,
or something.
"Your ass is a spaceship I'd like to ride." I'm sure the song will pop up because those are lyrics that apparently came from the heart of Pharrell and probably won him a lot of awards and made him substantially more money than the three of us are making for doing this interview.
Combined.
Right here. Combined, yes. Once again, we're chatting with Derek, the movie guy. Who else is nominated for the award for the song this year? Best Original Song for Motion Picture.
U2 is nominated for Mandela.
They win every damn award as well.
Yeah, they won't win. Neither one of them will win.
U2 and Pharrell will not win.
they
Who
won't
else
win.
is nominated?
Well, I don't know who they are, but whoever sang or wrote the song for the movie Frozen, it's called Let It Go. That seems to be the popular choice there. It's been winning pretty much everything. So that's a pretty safe bet from what I've read.
If you get Paul McCartney or Bruce Springsteen to record anything for your movie, they're a guaranteed nominee.
Absolutely.
Vanilla Sky, The Wrestler, and all sorts of stuff.
Philadelphia.
You're a big Philadelphia fan. I've yet to mention it, but you've mentioned 2 or 3 times at this point.
Yes, it's a good movie.
I'll have to check it out. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's very sad. Very sad.
I've been too happy lately, as some of my friends can attest to, and I'll have to watch it. What else? What should we move on to for categories for this year's Academy Awards?
Well, we got Best Director, and that's a 2-person race, but Alfonso Cuarón has won pretty much everything for Gravity, and the other nominee is Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave. Gravity will win a ton of technical awards. It'll probably win like 6 or 7 awards total. But usually the winner of Best Director, that movie wins Best Picture. Last year wasn't the case because Ben Affleck wasn't even nominated, which was crazy. But yet Argo won Best Picture. This year it's probably going to be the same thing. Alfonso Cuarón will win Best Director, but 12 Years a Slave will probably win Best Picture. I think Steve McQueen did a phenomenal job in 12 Years a Slave. The way he filmed it more like a Terrence Malick movie, which I don't know if you've ever seen a Terrence Malick movie. He made a movie a few years ago called The New World with Christian Bale. I don't know. It's just more he focuses on the landscape around it and how that affects the narrative. And McQueen did that with 12 Years a Slave. There's a scene where Chiwetel Ejiofor is looking at the camera and he's just staring at it for like a solid minute. You're able to absorb kind of how he's feeling at that particular moment. And then they'll just have these shots of a random willow tree to give the viewer a visual as to how it was like or what it looked like during that particular time in the South during the age of slavery. But I think Alfonso Cuarón should win, and he will win. It's a tough race for me, but I think Cuarón will win.
Well, there you have it from Derek, the movie guy. Moving forward, there's another big category that we have yet to get to.
Yes, Best Picture.
Best Picture, the big one, the award to end all awards at the Academy Awards. By the way, this will be the final award given out at the Academy Awards, as is the tradition. Mm-hmm. What time will they give out this award?
Probably like 10:59. You
think it'll be that early? They usually run late. Like
I'm hoping it's 10:59. I got to work the next day.
You think it will be 10:59?
Well, I think it's scheduled to end at 11. So they go over, but it's.
What time will the broadcast go off the air?
Oh, it's got to be not too far after, probably like 11:05. They got to get to local news.
Yeah, we have that problem sometimes. I'm going to tell you that I think local news won't start till 11:30. That'll be one of those nights where you wake up at 2 a.m. and like Sports Final is on. You're like, what the hell? What's going on? Just my opinion. Anyways, Best Picture.
This one it's probably going to go to 12 Years a Slave, but it could be Gravity. Producers Guild Awards.
Well, let's go through the nominees first, because we have tons of categories, tons of nominees in this one.
We got 9.
Yes, American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, The Wolf of Wall Street, 12 Years a Slave. I'm going to say this one wrong. Philomena. Yes, Philomena. I said it right. And Nebraska.
Yeah.
So who should win, who will win, and who becomes on the map as a result of being nominated that perhaps could work towards being a part of the Academy Award scene for years to come?
Who should win? Again, I've got a lot of flack for this.
Gravity. You're gonna get some flack here.
I love Gravity. You don't like Gravity?
I didn't see the movie.
Neither did I. I was being facetious.
Good Lord. Gravity was the best movie of the year, in my opinion. I know some of my friends are probably listening. They're like, no, screaming. But I personally think it was, and it wasn't even close. I think it was the best movie of the year by far. And it could win because...
Some friends of yours you think are yelling at the radio right now.
Yes.
Who are these friends?
Some friends from work. I don't.
You
want me to give names?
Yeah, let's name names.
Call them out.
Steve Callahan.
Steve, come on.
Steve, knock it off.
Steve, quit yelling.
Chris Cross.
Chris Cross, there are far greater tragedies in life.
Like the death of the guy from Chris Cross.
Exactly.
Nice.
That was wiggity wiggity whack.
That was wiggity whack. And Kyle Thibodeau. 3 people. You don't know that last one.
No, but come on, Kyle. Relax,
seriously.
buddy. Quit yelling at your radio.
Well, they're going to be happy that I gave him a shout out on the radio, though.
We called them out. So, Gravity, best film of the year.
Yes, but it won't win, in my opinion. I think 12 Years a Slave is going to win. It's won most of the awards. Again, thus far, it's pretty much cleaned up. I think your last question was who's going to benefit from being nominated in this category. I think Spike Jonze, who is the director and writer of Her, he's made some good movies recently, and I think that this is just going to add to his legacy. He's probably going to win an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Her. and he's nominated for, obviously, Best Picture here. And I think his stock is definitely going up because of this movie. And the movie itself, I thought, was good. It was very original, which I love. I love watching stuff that I've never seen before. Whereas a lot of these movies are, they're original, but they're similar to other things. I've never seen anything like Gravity. I've never seen anything like Her. 12 Years a Slave, you don't really see that many slavery movies, but it's similar.
You have in recent years, though.
Yeah, but it's similar to the feeling you get when you watch Schindler's List. You get a different feeling watching Gravity and Her. Not saying that Her is a better movie than 12 Years a Slave. I don't think it is, but Gravity is just, by far, in my opinion, the best movie of the year.
Well, it's Derek the Movie Guy giving his Oscar predictions here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. Derek, we've got another guest coming up in just a mere moments who is actually an Oscar voter. Her name is Reba Merrill. She's an Oscar voter who spent nearly 20 years in the publicity trenches, some of the politicking about people getting nominated and winning Oscar awards and things of that nature. She's the author of Nearly Famous: Secrets, Lies, and Addiction, and she's going to chat with us. Do you want to sit in with us for that interview?
Sure, absolutely.
Derek the Movie Guy joining us here on the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. Peter Zimborn and Mike Paiva here with you on this Friday morning. We'll step aside for a quick news break. Reba Merrill joins us via the telephone when we return. Stay tuned.